Welcome back to the center of it all. It's that time of year where everything you find is just pumpkin spice. Whether you're sipping on your pumpkin spice latte or lighting up that pumpkin spice candle, we just can't get enough of it. So today, Mel thought she'd follow the trend and she's going to be making her pumpkin spiced cookies.
The frost is on the pumpkin. Time to get out those sweet and savory recipes for soups, side dishes, and all sorts of desserts. Join me this morning. I'm making pumpkin cookies. In this nice big bowl, I've got a half cup or 1 stick of butter, which is salted butter because I like the extra little zing that salt adds. I've got 1 large egg. I'm going to add 1½ cups of granulated sugar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie flavoring. This is pretty easy to find, and if you can't find it, your cookies are still going to be fabulous because there's a lot of the same spices in our dry ingredients. But if you can't find it, it really is a great flavor enhancer for these cookies. And we're going to set our mixer of medium high. The butter is really at room temperature. It's very soft. This will make a little bit of noise, but I usually let it go for just about a minute, no longer. It's cookies, it's not cake baking. Just quickly stop my mixer. I'm going to add 1 cup of pumpkin, 100% pumpkin puree. This is canned pumpkin, which is absolutely not a compromise, but if you do grow your own pumpkins and roast them and make your own puree, feel free to do it. I've done it, it works fabulous. I'm going to scrape down the sides of the bowl a little here. And we're going to incorporate our pumpkin. Just get that all folded in. Maybe another minute. Okay. Now it's time to incorporate our dry ingredients. What I like best about this recipe is you don't have to do anything elaborate like 3 increments. Again, it's cookie baking, not cake baking. I've got 2½ cups of unbleached flour, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a teaspoon each of baking soda and baking powder, ½ teaspoon of ground ginger, and a ¼ teaspoon of nutmeg. And I'm just putting them all in at once. How easy is that? Now on low speed of the mixer, we're just going to start folding. Going to incorporate our dry ingredients, which have our rising agents. We've got our baking soda and our baking powder, so that rising from 1, your baking soda is going to start almost immediately, and then your double acting baking powder is going to give it the second puff or the second rise when it hits the heat of the oven. Now for our add-ins. I've got a cup of golden raisins. Feel free to use dark raisins if you prefer those. And I've got a cup of coarsely chopped walnuts. Feel free to use pecans if you like those better, or pecans if that's how you say it. And now we fold manually till we get all of these wonderful goodies incorporated into our cookie dough. The spices smell wonderful and they haven't even been in the oven yet. Okay, I'm going to take a second to wash my hands, and when we come back, we're going to get these on the pans and get them baked. I've lined two nice big 17.5-inch baking pans with a sheet of parchment. I like to use a 2-inch ice cream scoop to measure this. You are always going to get 1.5 dozen cookies. You might get 1 or 2 more than that, but you're always guaranteed 1.5 dozen with a 2-inch ice cream scoop. You have to do these are big cookies, so you're going to do 12 to a pan. Nice, even scoops, fully loaded. Okay, my cookies are all on the pan. I'm just going to bake these one pan at a time on the center rack of a 350-degree oven for about 14 to 16 minutes. They're going to stay puffed up and they're going to just be ever so lightly browned around the edges and on the top. My cookies are all out of the oven, but these have to cool. The ones we baked today have to cool for 2 or 3 hours. I baked these last night so that I have some ready to go on camera. I've made a really nice little drizzle here and I put it in a squeeze bottle. And I've got 1.5 cups of confectioner's sugar mixed with 1/4 cup of milk and the same extracts, the apple pie flavoring and the vanilla, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1 teaspoon of apple pie extract, and I'm just going to pumpkin pie flavoring, and I'm just going to drizzle the tops of these cookies. I'm going to wait for these to cool, and then we're going to eat our cookies. These cookies are perfect to sell at a fall bake sale, take to your Halloween costume party, and they're a great kid-friendly addition to your Turkey Day dessert buffet. They're great with coffee, they're great with tea, they love being dunked in milk. Celebrate fall today. Bake some cookies. For these and all my recipes, just go to my website.
There's nothing better than the smell of homemade cookies, so I can't wait to try one of these. They look great. That is so good. It tastes like a homemade pumpkin pie, but the frosting that's on the top here reminds me of the inside of a pumpkin roll. These are great. You're definitely going to want to try these out this fall. But make sure to stay with us because we'll have more right here on the Center of It All.